What if the question you're really asking isn't, what should I do with my life, but what was I made for? In Genesis 2, we zoom in on humanity's creation. And what we find is that purpose isn't something that we personally invent. Our purpose is something we discover. God made us for something. Welcome to day 2 of the Bible reading plan you'll actually finish, brought to you by Five Oaks Church, and Bible Story Guides. I'm Henry. We're reading the Bible as one story in 2 acts with 10 scenes. Yesterday we started at the very beginning, the first scene in Act 1, that scene we call creation. We saw that God isn't just making a world, He's making a home to share with us. Today we continue in that same scene, but Genesis 2 zooms in closer. If Genesis 1 is the wide-angle shot of creation, Genesis 2 is the close-up on humanity. And in this close-up, we see something remarkable. God doesn't just create us. He places us in a garden, gives us meaningful work, and surrounds us with relationship. These opening chapters of the Bible introduce themes that run through the entire story of the Bible. You'll see them again and again. You'll see the theme of the goodness of God in His creation, the unique value of humanity made in His image, the goodness of labor and the gift of rest, the importance of relationships. After all, the only thing in creation that's not good is that man is alone. There's also the foundation of marriage and family and the weight of our choices. One tree is off limits in the garden. Will Adam and Eve trust God or not? All of this is packed into this short passage. Let me read selections from Genesis 2. When the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, neither wild animals nor grains were growing on the earth, for the Lord had not yet sent rain to water the earth, and there were no people to cultivate the soil. Instead, springs came up from the ground and watered all the land. Then the Lord formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils, and the man became a living person. Then the Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there He placed the man He had made. The Lord God made all sorts of trees grow up from the ground, trees that were beautiful and that produced delicious fruit. In the middle of the garden He placed the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The Lord God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to tend and watch over it. But the Lord God warned him, "You may freely eat the fruit of every tree in the garden except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat its fruit, you will surely die." Then the Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper who is just right for him." So the Lord God formed from the ground all the wild animals and all the birds of the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would call them, and the man chose a name for each one. He gave names to all the livestock, all the birds of the sky, and all the wild animals. But still, there was no helper just right for him. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. While the man slept, the Lord God took out one of the man's ribs and closed up the opening. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib, and He brought her to the man. "At last," the man exclaimed, "this one is bone from my bone and flesh from my flesh. She will be called woman because she was taken from man." This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. Now the man and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. Here's your takeaway for today. You were made on purpose, for a purpose. God placed the first humans in a garden, gave them work to do, and made them for relationships with Him and with each other. That same design is written into you. So today, whether you're working, resting, or connecting with someone, remember, this is what you were made for. I want to encourage you to go to BibleStoryGuides.com if you haven't already and sign up for the extra bonuses and email reminders. They'll help you to stay on track and to go deeper. So until tomorrow, have a great day.